you aware of Dogri music?
I am aware.
Pahadi
Yeah.
or Dogri?
Yeah, I am. Growing up, I would hear my mom speaks Dogri to all of her family. When we'd play in Takshari, occasionally my mamaji would sing a song or two in Dogri. So yeah, I'm currently integrating. I'm working on integrating. Well, I already have. I wrote a song that is a mashup of a Dogri folk song and me doing spoken word rap bass music. So, and I've already been performing it at clubs all over India, and it's been going really, really well. People love the song.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And Dogri is going places.
It is.
And cafes.
And I love it because Dogri folk music is so full of innuendo. It's storytelling, but it's like, you know, the song is called Aayi Long. You know that song? Aayi Long, Gawai Aayi, Soniye Kutte. I'm going to go closer to the mic. Aayi Long, Gawai Aayi, Soniye Kutte, Gawai Aayi. Baave Ali khata teri maungi labba unki chikanli badda. You know that one?
No, I don't.
Baave Ali khata teri. Anyway, it's really rhythmic. It's really fun.
Tell us more about this song. How you've, like both the English and the Dogri both, you singing it. Would you like to?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, all I knew when I was a child was, this is really fun. It sounds so fun. Like, what I loved about Dogri was it sounded like a sweet rhythm. It was very sweet. It was very rhythmic. But I didn't understand it. And now that I'm older, I feel bold enough to ask questions. So I asked my mom, I was like, what does this song mean? And she told me that it's about a husband confronting a wife after she goes to the market. Her nose ring is missing. And, you know, as husbands back then, and even now, might do, questioning the wife's fidelity, that pisses me off. Because, I mean, what the hell? So, my song is called See Me Now. And, like, the first couple lines are like, see me now, I got nothing to prove. Been around the block and got nothing to lose. No motivation for the money, just to sweeten up the honey. Shut your mouth while I drip all over you. And then that against the backdrop of this song, of a woman telling a story about her husband questioning her. I mean, what's revealed is the essence of it not being a new story, that women need to stand up for themselves and be able to walk where they want to walk. And if their jewelry is missing, so what? And if their sari isn't on properly, so what? And these are all, what's sad to me is that a Dogri folk song that was written possibly in 1920 or 1910 or even earlier is as relevant now in 2017 in an urban environment. Women are still struggling with the same stupid crap, for lack of a more poetic word. And that makes me feel on fire, you know. So yeah, I want to explore more of it also from the standpoint Dogri is a dying language. It's a beautiful language. I mean, if I can play even a small part in keeping it alive, I'm excited about that.
You've heard about this beautiful folk singing style of Jammu called Pak?
I've heard of it, and it's so stunning. It reminds me a bit of like Viking singing. Of course, I grew up in the West, so I was more exposed to that. And I wish that the world was more exposed to Pak, because it's almost like the singers are able to sing more than one note at once. It's really magical. And it also sounds unlike anything you've ever heard out of India. It definitely it sounds so unique. But I mean, we all have to just come together to uncover these great, it's like hidden treasure, you know? Regional hidden treasure, and it needs attention and love to stay alive. So I'll do what I can within my capacity Just the fact that we're talking here together right now is us doing something.
And the fact that you're already performing a Dogri folk song along with your own kind of music and bringing two worlds together. And I think that also probably a beginning you've done already somewhere.
I'm also not scared. I think that there's a certain amount of fear amongst contemporary artists to touch the more classical or older forms.
You mean to say this is sacrosanct, you can't touch this?
Yeah, there's often that feeling, and I guess I just was never raised that way. It's already inbuilt in me that I'm different because I was born in another country. That purity is not even a part of my language, so I'm okay evolving things into what fits my identity and what feels right to me. And I think if all of us felt as contemporary artists, living outside of where we came from, if we all felt a bit more fearless, I think we'd be able to approach the preservation of these more ancient forms with a certain kind of freedom and responsibility.
That's quite well said. Any other memory of Jammu?
Yeah.
I know you've been visiting since childhood and all. So any particular memory you would like to share with the viewers of Ambal?
Sure. My favorite place was Patni Top. It was my most favorite place. There would be wild strawberries growing in the grass. And I remember the first time I saw Pahari people, just blue eyes and dark skin and blonde hair, and I was just so in love with the way that they looked. And for me, Patni Top was where I got to dance in the clouds. And if I would just go in any direction, if I ran in any direction for 30 seconds, I would find a waterfall or something, a freshwater spring. Again, in Takshri with the family, we all had homes up there, and I just make like shalgam and all the pickles. It was just the best. It was really, really fun. And that was also a time in my life when things made sense. So we all have that. All of us, I think everyone watching as well, knows what it feels like to be a child. Everything makes sense. You scrape your knee, someone comes and puts a Band-Aid on it. You feel hungry, someone feeds you. Everything makes sense. And then suddenly, nothing makes sense anymore. And you live the rest of your life trying to go back to when it all made sense. So for me, Jammu was very much a part of that. Everything making sense, lovely, dreamy phase of my life.
With Patni Top as occupying the place of pride.
Yeah, Patni Top, Jammu in general, my family that really embraced the arts. Everyone was really loving and kind. I remembered the men being more gentle than any other Indian men I had known. And I appreciated that. And I remembered the women being more free and everyone laughing a lot, even though things were going wrong. In Jammu, I can still feel the effects of the partition and of war and of political unrest. And especially when I was a child, it was even worse. But yet somehow there's a lot of empathy. Neighbors looking after one another. I would eat matti. There's still the guy who made me matti when I was a kid. He's still there, and I just visited him, and he gave me more matti. And it's simple, but it's beautiful.
When was the last time you visited Jammu?
In January.
Okay, when are you visiting next for the viewers?
I'll visit probably within the next year, probably in the winter.
Monica, shukriya bada. Thank you so much for coming on Ambal and knowing about Ambal, despite not growing up in Jammu and all that. And thank you so much for talking to our viewers, sharing your memories. And there's a bit of small ritual which we all do. तुसे सारा ही पता है. असें कई बारी किते दा. असें इंदे कोला भी कराना है. Which is, I say this and you repeat after me.
Okay.
Okay. We come together, we look at them, we talk to them, and is खंड मिठे
खंड मिठे
लोकें दी खंड मिठी डोगरी ते खट्टा मिठा अंबल जरूर दिखो शेयर करो सब्सक्राइब करो जाग तो कुड़ियो तोल करो
अब ते टुरी जंदे नौकरी चाकरी अब ते